Ni hao, I am Kenan Heppy, founder of the Chinese Tones Guy. Founder of the Chinese Tones Guy. Ni hao, I am Kenan Heppy, the Chinese Tones Guy and founder of the Chinese Dojo. How you doing? It is 5:30 a.m. here in Los Angeles, so I'm just waking up. Anyway, I did not grow up in a Chinese household. I did not marry a Chinese spouse, and yet I went from zero to professionally fluent in Chinese as an adult. I learned Mandarin Chinese as an adult, so you can too. What's going on in the chat? Let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from. All right, I want to know where you're tuning in from. Respond to that poll. Let us know why you're learning Chinese. All right, so I went from not being able to tell a taxi driver when to take a left turn to being on stage in front of thousands of people performing science experiments all in Chinese within a year and a half. All right, I was the lead of a show called That Physics Show and That Chemistry Show. So two shows doing science experiments all in Chinese within a year and a half of starting to take Chinese seriously. All right, so what is Newton's third law of motion in Chinese? 每一个作用力会有一个大小相等、方向相反的反作用力。Okay, I was acting in Chinese movies and TV shows, some you've totally never heard of, like 如果岁月可回头, 青恋. But I got to work with directors who you've definitely heard of. Zhang Yimou, the director of Hero. I was in his movie Snipers, Juji Show. I was in the original Chinese Three Body Problem. I played the lead, Mike Evans. Actually, this is me right there. That top picture is me playing Mike Evans in the original Chinese Three Body Problem. Let me change the orientation of these for everybody. What's going up? What's going on? Good morning from West Palm Beach. Hello, Matic from Slovenia. Great. Amazing. This is great. We have people from all over the world who want to learn Chinese, and that is what this channel is all about. Like I said, I learned as an adult, so you can too. Okay, and what do we focus on in the Chinese Dojo? We learn Chinese the right way. Of course, in this live stream, the agenda will be we're going to do some warm-up. We're going to read some Chinese news. We're going to learn some vocabulary, some beginning and advanced vocabulary. But I want to first talk about what learning Chinese the right way means. Right? What does that mean? Because you're clearly in the right kind of channel if you're interested in Chinese. But working with me, does that mean that we are going to learn a bunch of language hacks where I promise that you're going to be having full conversations with people in 2 weeks? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is you're actually going to build a strong foundation for Mandarin Chinese that will actually render you capable of really actually learning the language long term. And it won't even take that long if you do it the right way. What does that mean? Well, there are some programs out there that promise to have you be speaking Chinese full conversations in 2 weeks or something. That doesn't happen. The only way that can happen, honestly, is if you memorize specific lines and go and have that exact conversation that you memorized. Okay? But what we're talking about is actually learning the language. Does it mean that you're going to be able to watch a bunch of videos and that's it, and then just know the language? No. But you will actually learn. Is it going to take effort? Yes, but you will actually learn the language. It is actually possible. You just have to put in a little bit of effort, and it means putting in effort the right way. Okay, let us know in the chat where you are from. Hello, more people are saying hello. So, this is backed by research, okay? We are going to focus on tones and pronunciation and help you build a strong foundation for the language. And this is backed by research. Okay, I'm going to share some of these sources with you. Okay, so quote number 1, conscientious work on Chinese phonetics will result in stronger command of the language material in grammar, vocabulary, and other aspects of the language competency. Okay, this is from Introducing Chinese Linguistics from a professor and researcher in linguistics. His name is Hang Zhang and Lan Zhang, a team there. So yeah, conscientious work on Chinese phonetics. You really want to put a lot of effort into tones and pronunciation. Okay, this increases what's called comprehensible input. I could talk about sources all day, but we don't have all day here on the live stream. Okay, I highly recommend looking up Stephen Krashen. Krashen, a very, very renowned linguist who wrote The Input Hypothesis, all about comprehensible input. So the goal with language is rapidly increase comprehensible input as quickly as you can. Comprehensible input, what is that? A simple way of understanding it is it's the input of sounds that you can actually understand and do something with. When you don't know sounds in a language and you listen to a conversation in that language, all the sounds, what do? They just fly right over your head, right? It doesn't mean anything. Comprehensible input is input that you can actually use to your benefit. You want to greatly increase your comprehensible input. What happens when you hyper-focus on tones and pronunciation for Mandarin Chinese is that every single sound becomes comprehensible. So you are able to rapidly expand your vocabulary and learn grammar and start to have conversations really, really quickly. Someone says, oh, I thought it was First Secret Hello. That's your name. Okay, another source, another quote. Beginning learners should commit sufficient time for perception training with efficient assessment afterwards. This is super important. This is from the same book. With efficient assessment afterwards. So are you going to learn a language in a vat all by yourself? I mean, maybe it's going to take you a long time. And how are you going to know that you're actually learning correctly, that you're actually speaking with accuracy? You need assessment. So if you're playing those games on your phone that give you a bunch of points for logging in every day, but if a real human being is not actually grading you, okay, then you're not giving yourself a huge advantage. All right, so you need to practice and then have a system of being assessed, and ideally pretty quickly. You know, at least it's verified. Testing. Let me know if we're back. I'm showing my internet's back. Sorry about that, everybody. I think we might. Are we back? Are we back? Yes, I think we're back. Can you type a 1 in the chat if we're back? Can I see a bunch of 1s in the chat? Let me know if you can see me and if we have a stable connection again. Please type 1 in the chat. All right, I'm seeing some 1s. Fantastic. I am seeing some 1s. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. So we are talking about what does learning Mandarin Chinese the right way mean. If I can get a few more 1s, that would make me feel so incredible. Because now I'm worried that there's something wrong with my internet. But I made sure to get a hardwired connection. Even still, there are some random issues that happen here, and I'm very sorry about that. But can you type a 1 in the chat if you see me clearly? I was quoting here the prosody of Mandarin Chinese. Okay, the prosody of Mandarin Chinese by Professor Shen. Okay, and there was a quote from the book that said, when we're talking about in reference to learning through Mandarin Chinese tones and pronunciation, okay, results showed that the perception of Mandarin tones improved significantly after training. Moreover, the improvement generalized to new stimuli and new voices and was retained when probed 6 months after training. Now, what does that mean? That means if you hyper-focus on tones, you're going to get much better at tones, obviously, but a lot of people don't put in the necessary work. And the next part is very important. The improvement generalized to new stimuli and new voices and was retained when probed 6 months after training. When you hyper-focus on tones and pronunciation, you create a foundation that sticks, okay? And then you're able to recognize and make sense of new voices and new stimuli in the language. So, hyper-focusing on tones and pronunciation is absolutely the right way to go. We got 55 people in the chat. Let me know. Vote in that poll. Why do you want to learn Chinese? Is it for business? Is it for love or family? Is it for adventure? Or do you just love languages? Go ahead and vote in that poll. We have over 55 people in the room, but only 13 people have voted in the poll. I want to see more votes. I want to learn about you. So, in learning Chinese the right way, you definitely want to join the ChineseDojo.com. We're about to get to reading a real Chinese news article and learning a bunch of vocab, but I want to introduce to you this very quickly, okay? So join the ChineseDojo.com. You should go check that out, ChineseDojo.com. I have a fully comprehensive Mandarin Chinese pronunciation course with over 550 minutes of video with theory and practice. Every single video has like 60 to 70% practice opportunity, right? Where we hyper drill tones and pronunciation, just like we were just talking about. Then you test your listening skills. I hired multiple professional Mandarin Chinese, native Mandarin Chinese voiceover artists to record voice memos. And you train your listening skills with their voice memos. And then you practice. We talked about the importance of assessment. You will actually record your voice. You'll actually record your voice and I will grade it. So you get assessed, okay? It kind of works like this. I'll show you what the platform looks like. This is what it looks like from a student perspective. So when you hit this practice region where it says listen and repeat. Let me turn on my volume here.
Na, na, na.
And then it says repeat. And there's a little microphone button. And I hit that button. Na, 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 na. Le, 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 le. More, 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 more. I record right on the platform. Na, 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 na. Le, 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 le. More, 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 more. And then you submit your audios. You submit those to me and I grade those. I grade those. Monty is saying, yo, how much money does he want? Well, there is a holiday deal going on right now. Okay, I should have started with this, right? Happy National Day. Happy Golden Week. 祝你们国庆节快乐. 国庆节快乐. This is the week to be eating mooncakes with all your Chinese friends. All right, so there is a holiday deal right now where you get the 10 hours of video, the 10 to 15 hours of quizzes and tests. So much opportunity for practice and homework. When you factor in the amount of hours of practice you get, you're basically getting me as your one-on-one tutor for about $5 an hour. Use coupon code MOONCAKE. Use coupon code MOONCAKE. Go to the ChineseDojo.com and make sure you use coupon code MOONCAKE. And due to popular demand, I actually broke this out into 2 different tracks. Okay, so this is a full-fledged program, kind of like a college program. All right. You can either choose 3 months or 6 months. The material is exactly the same. It just depends on how quickly you want to get through the material. If you're a busy working professional and you can only allocate maybe 30 minutes to an hour every other day or 2, 3, or 4 days, you might want to do the 6-month option. But if you want really fast results, you can do the accelerator, the 3-month program. The material is the same. It's just the feedback speed is different. So in the accelerator, I'm going to be listening and giving you feedback within 24 to 36 hours on every single assignment. Whereas with the 6-month program, you're going to get feedback on all of your submissions within 72 hours. All right, so you get to take a little more time and I get to take a little more time in that 6-month program. Also with the accelerator, you're also going to get a one-on-one video call with me where I'm going to get to know you personally, get to know your goals and figure out just how much or just how I can support you even more in your Mandarin learning journey. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about that, but you definitely should check that out at the ChineseDojo.com. Use coupon code MOONCAKE. Coupon code MOONCAKE, and just go and see how much you get off on that. that came out a little funny. Go to the ChineseDojo.com enter coupon code mooncake and see just how much of a discount you get on the program. Okay, so that's how that works. Nina's exactly right. Yes. Find the pronunciation program called the Tones Master. That's right. So when you go to the page, when you go to the ChineseDojo.com, Nina's exactly right. What you'll want to do is you'll want to scroll down to this right here, and you can click this warrior, and you'll be taken to the ChineseDojo.com/Tones Master, and you can read all about it. You can see student testimonials. You can watch an intro video about the course, and then you can choose which one works for you, the 3-month or the 6-month version. Again, the material is the same. It's just choosing a timeline that works better for you. All right. With the accelerator, you get to get you feedback much faster. With the 6-month program, you get to take a little longer, and I get to take a little extra time sending you the feedback. All right, so here we go. We're going to jump right into it. We are going to read some real Chinese news. This is from ChinaDaily.com. This is from ChinaDaily.com. Let me make sure my pen works. Okay, so here we go, everybody. We're going to start with this news article. This is a photo corresponding to the news article. So this came along, and this is an excerpt from the article. So here we go. In fact, maybe right before, I should do a little bit of a tonal warm-up. Okay, so we're going to do a tonal warm-up. Here are the 4 tones of Mandarin Chinese. And what does this graph mean? We see 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4, count them 4. You only need to know 4 tones for Mandarin Chinese. The first tone is high, flat, and unchanging. What do high, medium, and low mean? This is basically, think of it as the spectrum of your voice. Medium is your normal speaking voice. High is at the high end of your normal speaking range, and low is at the low end of your normal speaking range. All right, so the first tone is high, flat, and unchanging. We'll try that with the syllable ba. 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 Repeat after me. Please repeat after me whenever you have the chance. If you're in a place where you can repeat after me, I highly, highly recommend, because we want these tones to get through our ears, to go through our ears and through our mouths. We need these tones and these phonetics through our bodies. All right. Ba. Ba. Okay, now let's try that with the second tone. That's the rising tone, starting with our normal speaking voice, our normal speaking pitch, and then immediately rising up, ending at the high end of the range. Ba, ba, ba. Good. The third tone falls and rises. Ba, ba. And the fourth tone falls. Ba, ba. Very good. Can you type yes in the chat if you are following along? If you are following along, type yes in the chat. I want to know who's with me, who's doing this with me. Let's do this with the syllable tao. Tao, tao. Now let's cycle through the 4 tones. Tao, 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 tao. Very good. Those are the 4 tones. All right, let's do that with ma, 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 ma. Very good. Can you hear the tones? Can you hear the tones? Let's do this with la. La, 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 la. And there is a poll down below. The poll is, why do you want to learn Chinese? Is it for business? Is it for love or for family? Is it for adventure? Or do you just love learning languages? And let me tell you, Mandarin Chinese can absolutely change your life, because it changed mine. All right, I became famous on Chinese social media and acted in Chinese movies and TV shows. Pretty much all my dreams came true because of Chinese. So now I like helping other people achieve their dreams through the language. So here we go. This is a news article published in China Daily. I'm going to read this for everybody, and we're going to learn some vocabulary. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特击袭事件嫌疑人身份。That's the headline. That's the headline. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特击袭事件嫌疑人身份。That is the headline. I'll trace along as I go through here. Now the goal here is focus on the sounds. Try to hear the tones. Then we're going to learn some words, and we'll reread the article again after we visit some vocabulary. 英国曼彻斯特一座犹太教堂外2日发生汽车冲撞和持刀伤人事件，造成2名平民死亡，3人重伤。警方说，袭击事件的嫌疑人为叙利亚裔英国公民，已经被警察当场开枪打死。新理论巴以冲突爆发以来，英国针对犹太人的事件激增。英国警方将这一袭击事件定为恐怖袭击。All right, that is the article. Now this is kind of some serious stuff. We're not going to get political. I'm definitely not going to get political. It is just interesting to see how other countries, post articles about certain events. All right, so this is about a tragic attack that happened in Manchester, England recently. All right, and now what does this say? This is about the photo. This is about the photo that we see right here. 10月2日，警察和应急人员在英国曼彻斯特的犹太教堂袭击事件现场工作。So what does all this mean? Let's learn some vocabulary. We have 23 votes down below. We have 75 people watching though. All right, so here is some vocabulary that shows up in the article. 英国, that's England. 英国. Now please repeat after me when I say these. This is a very, very good chance to focus on tones and pronunciation and maybe even acquire some new vocabulary. So please, if you're in a place, you can repeat after me. 英国. 英国. First tone, second tone. 英国. 英国. That's England. 英国. England. Okay. 警察. That's police. 警察. 警察. Third tone, second tone. Police. 警察. Okay, 警察. Now, 公布. 公布. That means to announce. 公布. 公布. First tone, fourth tone. 公布. Incident. An incident. 事件. 事件. Two fourth tones. 事件. 事件. Not to be confused with 时间, which means time. 时间 is time, but 事件is an incident. Let me know down below. There is a poll. Why do you want to learn Chinese? Is it for business? Is it for love or family? Is it for adventure? Or do you just love learning languages? Then we have identity, 身份. Identity, 身份. Identity, first tone, neutral tone, 身份. Then we have how to say Manchester. 曼彻斯特. 曼彻斯特.曼彻斯特. It's not. I made a mistake there. It's 曼彻斯特. It's not 曼彻斯特. 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 That's Manchester. Top is saying, is this pre-recorded? This is not pre-recorded. No, this is not pre-recorded. This is fully live. Live from Los Angeles. And let me know in the chat, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Kenan Heppy. 大家好，我是柯南. I'm the Chinese Tones guy and founder of the Chinese Dojo. I did not grow up in a Chinese household. I did not marry a Chinese spouse, but I did learn Mandarin Chinese as an adult. I went from 0 to professionally fluent in a year and a half, so you can too. I was performing Chinese in front of thousands of people in live shows. I became famous on Chinese social media on Douyin. 我的账号是柯南. Millions of fans in China. I ended up acting in Chinese movies and TV shows. Some you may have heard of, like The Three Body Problem, the original Chinese Three Body Problem. I got to play the lead bad guy. You can watch that on Amazon Prime, by the way. You can watch that on Amazon Prime. Oh, we got people from the Dominican Republic, Bangladesh, Australia. What's going on? I'm trying to learn Mandarin. I'm so terrible. Don't worry. We all start that way. Everyone starts from 0. When I first started, when I became serious about learning Chinese, I remember thinking that I knew Chinese. I was like, oh, I know a few things. I can say 你好. I could say 我叫柯南. And then I got into a taxi cab and I couldn't even tell him my address. And I didn't know how to tell him how to make a left or right turn. And I was like, oh man, something needs to change. I need to learn the right way. Learning Chinese is not difficult, okay? Because there are proven ways on how to do it. What might be difficult is staying committed, right? Making sure you're doing it the right way. You need to make wise decisions and learn Mandarin Chinese the right way, and you need to stay committed, okay? Am I going to tell you that you can just watch videos and suddenly, run seminars in Chinese and have fluid and deep conversations with people? No. You do need to put in some effort. And the effort and staying committed is going to maybe be a little bit difficult. But what is going to happen? You're going to learn Mandarin Chinese, and you might actually transform your life if you do it the right way. And that means focusing on tones and pronunciation at the beginning. Now, we do have a lot of people in here right now. I was showing how this is backed by science, okay? This is backed by research. This is a quote from a book about Chinese linguistics, all right? Conscientious work on Chinese phonetics will result in stronger command of the language material in grammar, vocabulary, and other aspects of language competency. This book, the source is below. All right, if you go to that link, you can read this book yourself. Beginning learners should commit sufficient time for perception training. That means what we're doing right here, tones and pronunciation, with efficient assessment afterwards. Just watching videos and practicing isn't enough. You need to be assessed. You need an expert. You need someone who knows what they're doing to tell you, guide you along if you're doing things the right way. You don't want to fossilize bad habits. Don't turn bad habits into, they call them fossils in linguistics, fossilization. All right, so if you memorize everything incorrectly, you're going to create tons of bad habits for yourself, and they're going to come back to haunt you later, I promise. I met a ton of people who were learning Mandarin Chinese, and their tones and pronunciation were pretty bad, to be honest, all right? I'm being a bit friendly when I'm saying pretty bad, okay? And they had to unlearn and relearn everything. They essentially had to learn Chinese twice. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Random is saying, what should I learn first in learning Mandarin? You should absolutely learn tones and pronunciation first. All right, this is backed by science. Results showed that perception of Mandarin tones improved significantly after training. Moreover, this improvement generalized to new stimuli and new voices and was retained when probed 6 months after training. We could talk about the research all day, but what you want to do is tones and pronunciation at the beginning. You want to hyper expand your comprehensible input. The sounds that you hear need to make sense for your brain. So it makes sense, right, that you need to train for the tones and the sounds so that as you're hearing and studying the sounds, you actually have context for what you're hearing. And when you hyper-focus on tones and pronunciation at the beginning, you're going to learn new words and retain them. You're going to learn new words faster and retain them for much longer. So you're going to basically put yourself on a super highway and an accelerator for learning the language. If you want to do that the right way with my program where I will actually assess you and help you along the way, go to the ChineseDojo.com. Go to the ChineseDojo.com. There is a coupon code this week for Golden Week. If you click the Tones Master, go to ChineseDojo.com and click Tones Master. You can do that, or you can click Learn More. But click the Tones Master here, and you can learn all about this program. A full pronunciation program, nearly 10 hours of video lessons, over 550 minutes of video with theory and practice, quizzes where you test your listening skills. I hired professional Mandarin voiceover artists. Practice where you submit your audio, and this is important. You record your voice, and I listen to it, and I grade it. Check it out. Coupon code Mooncake. Coupon code Mooncake. Okay. More vocabulary words. So, sun or day is zhi. Zhi with a fourth tone. Zhi. Knife is dao. Knife is dao. Okay. Typically says definitely going to look up the program I've been watching for a while. I've been considering it. So many as well. Awesome. Typically awesome. Oh, you have a friend from Singapore who's extremely bilingual. Native speaker, Cantonese. We do weekly calls to help out the pronunciation. Oh yeah, I can help you learn how to sound like a native speaker with every single sound and word in the language. Go to the ChineseDojo.com. Seriously, and use coupon code Mooncake. Only that's going to expire at the end of the week. But if you use coupon code Mooncake, I recommend go and just type it in. See how much you save. That's my gift to you. My gift to you. Go ahead and type in coupon code Mooncake and see how much you save. Okay. Those are the basic vocabulary words. Now, some advanced vocabulary for this lesson. 袭击. 袭击 is a surprise attack. 袭击. 袭击. Second tone, first tone. 袭击. Suspicion. 嫌疑. 嫌疑. Two rising tones. 嫌疑. 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 All right. A synagogue. 犹太教堂. 犹太教堂. 犹太人 is a Jewish person. 教堂 is church. So a Jewish church is a synagogue. 犹太教堂. 犹太教堂. 冲撞, ram or collide. To ram or collide. 冲撞. 冲撞. All right. Whoops. Okay. So let's go back to this article. And again, this is the photo of the article. Now, I'm not going to get political here. We're not talking about sides, this side or that side. What we're doing is we're reading this article as it was published in China. I think it's interesting and important to see how other countries report on current events and things that happen. And that might be interesting for you too. It's interesting for me, and so it might be interesting for you. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特袭击事件嫌疑人身份. So we just learned some of these words. 英国, that's England. 警方, so 警察 is police. So this is the British police. 公布 announced. 曼彻斯特, the Manchester. 袭击 surprise incident. 袭击事件 or surprise attack. Suspect identity, or how can we translate this in English? The British police have released or announced the identity of the suspect of the surprise attack in Manchester. The surprise attack in Manchester. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特 袭击事件嫌疑人身份. All right, did you pick out some of those words? 英国警方公布曼彻斯特袭击事件嫌疑人身份. Okay, so here we go. Scotty's cousin says, you're such a good teacher. Oh, thank you. Thank you. 英国曼彻斯特一座犹太教堂外2日发生汽车冲撞和持刀伤人事件. Now, what does that mean? Now, we already covered some of these words, right? This is England. England, Manchester. Here we have synagogue. The 2nd, meaning the 2nd of October. 发生 to occurred, a vehicle ramming and knife wielding incident. All right, so basically this is saying, what is it saying? On October 2nd, there was a pretty terrible incident in Manchester, England at a synagogue. Right, so this is a Jewish church, a synagogue, 犹太教堂. There was a ramming and stabbing incident. All right, so this is some pretty serious news, everybody, but this is the news. 造成2名平民死亡. So there are some words that because of YouTube, I cannot fully translate them, but basically 2 people, I have to use the term unalive. That's that one I circled just there. 2 people were unalived. I have to say it that way for YouTube. 3人重伤. 3 people were critically injured, severely injured. Scotty Cousins is saying, yeah, some weird things. Scotty, you are in a timeout, sir. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, 警方说袭击事件的嫌疑人. So now they're saying the police have stated that the suspect of this surprise attack was, and now we probably need to go learn some new vocabulary words. 叙利亚裔英国公民已经被警察当场开枪打死. Yeah, that person was definitely put in timeout. Okay, so some more advanced vocabulary here. 冲撞, we covered that. That's to ram or collide. Now, to hold or to wield, 持 with a second tone, 持, as opposed to, right, 吃, which means to eat. 吃 is to eat, but 吃 is this word here. And there are other words that are pronounced the same way, right? But this is this character, 吃 means to hold or wield. 持 重伤 is severe injury. 重伤 severe injury. Wow, 60 people voted. Let's see the results of that poll. 60 people voted. A lot of people, more than half, are learning Chinese because they just love learning languages. That's awesome. Look at that. 23% said for business. 8% said for adventure. 7% said for love or family. Nice. Let's see. How old are you? I want to know. Are you let's see. Under 18, 18 to what? What are the ranges here? What? 25, maybe 26 to 35. What do we got? 35 plus. So, nice. Someone says, I'm learning Chinese to flex at school. Guarav says, please reply. Hello, Guarav. Nice. Okay, so let me know in the chat, what's everyone's age? Under 18, 18 to 25, 26 to 35, or 35 plus? The word, so Syria comes up in this article. 叙利亚, 叙利亚. Three fourth tones in a row. 叙利亚, 叙利亚. That's how you say Syria. 叙利亚, 叙利亚. That's Syria. And descendant is E. E. All right. Now some more advanced vocabulary here. Now this is really interesting. This is one very cool aspect about Mandarin Chinese. Check this out. How do you say Palestinian-Israeli relations? How do you say Palestinian-Israeli relations in Chinese? 巴以. That's it. 2 syllables. Count those syllables in English. Palestinian-Israeli relations. That's 11 syllables in English. Palestinian-Israeli relations. 11 syllables in English. 巴以. 2 syllables in Mandarin Chinese. What you'll notice is, for many, many words and concepts, Mandarin Chinese is actually more efficient. You'll reduce the same concept a lot of the times. Not every time, but a lot of the time, into fewer syllables, which actually means that you can communicate more ideas more effectively. You can actually think faster in Mandarin Chinese. Think about that. If you just say bai, that's Palestinian-Israeli relations in your mind. And imagine if in a single paragraph you had a bunch of words like that. Very interesting. So you can communicate, you can transfer ideas more effectively with fewer syllables. It's kind of fascinating. Okay. 冲突, 冲突, that's conflict. 冲突, 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 conflict. 当场, 当场, that means on the spot. 当场, 爆发. 爆发 is to erupt or to break out. Since, in the form of time, not the because, not like, oh, I'm doing this since that. No, it's the since in the form of time. Like, since I was a kid, right? 以来, 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 since. 针对 means directly against or aimed. 针对, 针对, 针对. First tone, fourth tone, 针对. Then to soar or to increase sharply. 激增, 激增, 激增. 2 first tones. 激增, 激增. Here's a quick pro tip. If you made it this far, I want to give you oh, thanks, Guarav. Thanks for all your compliments, Guarav. If you want to practice Mandarin Chinese tones, here's a little pro tip for you. You can hum the tones. You can hum the tones before you speak the words, before you speak the syllables. So here we have 2 first tones, right? 2 first tones. You could to yourself just say, excuse me. You could say, 2 first tones. 激增, 激增, If you have like a first tone and a fourth tone, right? How would that work? A first tone and a fourth tone. That gets the tone through your body, through your brain, through your body. All right, so I definitely recommend that. If you're having a little trouble with tones, you can hum the tones before you add the tones to the syllables. All right. So here we go. Let's continue with the article. So here we said 袭击事件的嫌疑人. So the surprise attack, the suspect of this surprise attack. was a British citizen of Syrian descent. Okay, the 英国公民 is the British citizen part, but here we see, maybe I'll erase all this stuff so we can see more clearly here. Shuliya, that's Syria. And then this character, E, is descendant. So a person of Syrian descent, a British citizen of Syrian descent. The British citizen is this part, 英国公民. So 叙利亚裔英国公民 is a British citizen of Syrian descent. 已经被 already by the police 警察 on the spot. And of course, because this is YouTube and we need to be sensitive with language here, I will need to say unalived. So this person was unalived by the police on the spot. Okay? So, since, then we have 新议论, 巴以, remember that right there? 巴以, that's the Palestinian-Israeli relations. 冲突 is conflict. 爆发 is to erupt. 以来 is since. So since the latest round of Israeli-Palestinian relations, since the conflict last erupted, right? Since the last eruption of the Palestinian-Israeli relation conflict, 英国针对犹太人的事件激增, there has been a sharp increase in events targeting Jewish people in England. That's what that says. 英国针对. England aiming at, so the direct translation, right? If we directly translate this, this is England aimed at Jewish people, events, sharp increase. We won't get too deep into like the grammar and how the sentence is constructed, the word order, right? But if we just read that out loud completely directly, that's England aimed at Jewish people, events, sharp increase, right? So we can kind of understand the logic there that, oh, okay, this means that there's been a sharp increase in events targeting or aimed at Jewish people in England. 英国针对犹太人的事件激增. And then what's the last sentence here? And this is just an excerpt. If you go to the link below, if you go to that link, you can read the full article. This is an excerpt of this article. 英国警方将这一袭击事件定为恐怖袭击. So the British police, the England police, have classified this surprise attack as a terrorist attack. So this has been classified as a terrorist attack by the British police. We got 39 votes. We got a bunch of people of all different ages learning Mandarin Chinese. Love to see it. All right. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions about learning Mandarin Chinese. But you guys and gals and everyone around the world, we just translated this article. Sorry, I needed to have a little sip of tea there. We just translated that article and we covered a bunch of vocabulary here. So I highly recommend maybe taking a screenshot. Sean says, I have a Chinese exam. Oh, Sean, good luck on the exam. Good luck on that exam. Okay, so take a screenshot of this vocabulary and definitely practice some of these words on your own time. Pay very close attention to the tones. Pay very close attention to the tones and the pronunciation. Okay? Don't just haphazardly, randomly, kind of in a messy fashion memorize these words. All right? Really, really focus on the tones. Someone asked, how important is learning the characters? Good question. Good question. Who wants to know the answer to that question? I'll take a poll. Who wants to know how important is learning Chinese characters? Who wants to know that? Me, not me. Or actually, I should say I. Not I. Because we speak with precision. Who wants to know? So it's like either I want to know or I don't want to know, right? All right. So I'm going to read through this article one more time, or maybe I'll read it through twice more, okay? Oh my gosh, I have a Chinese Dojo student meetup in 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, this time is just flying by. I have a Chinese Dojo student meetup. I'm joining a video call with all the students at the Chinese Dojo in 25 minutes. So I gotta rush here. If you join the Chinese Dojo right now, you can join the student meetup. All right, so that's gonna be very fun. We're gonna go over a lot of awesome stuff and I'm gonna give everyone a lot of one-on-one attention. So if you did happen to join the Chinese Dojo in the next 30 minutes, you could join this student meetup webinar with Chinese students who are in the Chinese Dojo all around the world. All right, so I'm gonna read this article maybe twice more, once quickly and once slowly. And I'll do that in reverse, one slowly, then one quickly. All right, so here we go. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特袭击事件嫌疑人身份。英国曼彻斯特一座犹太教堂外2日发生汽车冲撞和持刀伤人事件，造成2名平民死亡，3人重伤。警方说，袭击事件的嫌疑人为叙利亚裔英国公民，已经被警察当场开枪打死。新理论巴以冲突爆发以来，英国针对犹太人的事件激增。英国警方将这一袭击事件定为恐怖袭击。Nice. Sean is asking, am I on the wait list? Am I on the wait list? Well, Sean, there's no longer a wait list. There's no longer a wait list. The course is completely... The course is published. The course is out. There's no more wait list. You no longer have to wait. You can join the Chinese Dojo immediately. Instant access. Instant access to all those lessons, quizzes, and practice sessions where you get feedback from me. Sean, if I don't believe you're in, no. So the Chinese Dojo it's either a 3-month or 6-month program. There's a tiny bit of tuition, if you will. It's about basically for me to be your one-on-one coach. It ends up being like $5 an hour. Right? So, but once you pay for the course, and there is a coupon code right now, the coupon code is Mooncake. Once you pay for the course, you have instant access. Once you pay for the course, you have instant access if you join the accelerator. Okay, so if you really want to master your tones and pronunciation quickly, within 3 months, learn how to sound like a native speaker with every single word, every single sound and syllable in the language in just 3 months. Join that accelerator program with coupon code Mooncake. You get instant access and you're going to have a one-on-one video call just with me. And you're going to get feedback on every single assignment. I'm going to listen to your audio and your pronunciation and give you feedback on every single assignment within 36 hours. Within 36 hours on every assignment. So you watch the videos on your own time, you practice on your own time, and then within 36 hours, I give you feedback on every single assignment. If you don't have enough time to really work that all into the 3 months, you can do the standard 6-month program. All right. Same exact material. You just spend a little longer, and then the feedback comes in just a little slower. All right. So you're going to get feedback on every single assignment, but within 72 hours. Okay. And then you'll get email support at that level. Email support. So at the accelerator, you get a private DM chain with me. You also get a one-on-one call with me, and you get feedback on every assignment within 36 hours. That gets you through the course within 3 months. If you want to take a little extra time to do it, but still sound like a native with every single sound, syllable, word in the language, within 6 months, go ahead and do that, and you'll get feedback on every single assignment within 72 hours. Please check that out at thechinesedojo.com. I highly recommend this. Go to thechinesedojo.com, scroll down, click on the Chinese Dojo Warrior. There's either a button that says Learn More, or click on this Warrior here, or click the Learn More button, and you'll go to the Chinese Dojo page. You can watch an intro video, learn more about the course. You can see student testimonials, and you can put in coupon code MOONCAKE to get an amazing Golden Week discount. Golden Week discount. All right, coupon code MOONCAKE. That is expiring soon, so please take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. And I'm having a student meetup in like 25 minutes. I'm having a student meetup in 25 minutes. We'll play a quick matching game. Whoops, I didn't read that article one more time. Quickly. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. 英国警方公布曼彻斯特袭击事件嫌疑人身份。英国曼彻斯特一座犹太教堂外2日发生汽车冲撞和持刀伤人事件，造成2名平民死亡，3人重伤。警方说，袭击事件的嫌疑人为叙利亚裔英国公民，已经被警察当场开枪打死。新理论巴以冲突爆发以来，英国针对犹太人的事件激增。英国警方将这一袭击事件定为恐怖袭击。That is the article, everyone. That was at regular speed. And of course, this was the very, very unfortunate news out of Manchester, England, the attack on the synagogue. And that is how the China Daily reported. At least that was an excerpt of that article. Okay, so very, very unfortunate event out in Manchester, England. Yeah, it's just wild. So stay safe out there, everybody. Please stay safe out there. Okay. We have 22 people who voted. 82% said they want to know how important it is to learn Chinese characters. Okay, it is very important to learn Chinese characters, not necessarily right at the beginning though. And this is backed by science, this is backed by research. I highly recommend reading Stephen Krashen's work on the input hypothesis, comprehensible input. Earlier in this live stream, I showed some sources that talk about early tonal training importance. With Mandarin Chinese, the best way to begin is how I started. Master tones and pronunciation at the beginning. You don't even need to know what you're necessarily saying, but you need to train yourself to parse the different tones. You need to increase your comprehensible input. But after you've mastered tones and pronunciation and laid that solid groundwork, it is very important to learn Chinese characters if you want to use Chinese in your professional life. Absolutely. If you're going to correspond with people on WeChat or online, right? You need to be able to type in Chinese. So I'm going to type in the chat right now. I'm going to type in Chinese. 我现在在打中文字 跟你聊啊。All right, 我现在在打中文字，跟你聊。I'm chatting with you. I'm typing Chinese right now. Right? The only way you can type in Chinese is if you learn how to read Chinese characters. Now, do you need to learn how to write Chinese? Not necessarily. In modern Chinese life, you can get by if you really fully understand Pinyin and you can read. You need to be able to type Pinyin and read Chinese characters. But if you practice writing, it's a very good way to deepen your understanding of Chinese culture and a much faster way of learning the characters. Obviously, by writing them out, you ingrain them in your mind and in your muscle memory and everything. Okay. Wow. I have a Chinese Dojo student meetup very soon. But we can play a quick matching game here. So we're going to do a quick matching game with what you see on screen. Sean says, can you put the payment free? I can't pay. I'm 11 years old. I don't have a debit card and cash to... Sean, I'm sorry. If you're 11 years old, then you can absolutely join the course, but you would need your parents' permission. So your parents would need to check out for you, and then we'll help you through that course, buddy. We will help you through that course. It is friendly for ages 11 plus, actually. So you could definitely go through the course, but we would want your parents' permission, okay? Someone says, I create the characters for fun. Awesome. Okay, so 作家, yes, because writing characters is actually really fun. I always felt like I was kind of translating like a secret ancient language, which is kind of literally what you're actually doing. Okay. Let's see. A, let me see. B or C. We have D and F. Okay. So here we go. Here's a poll, everybody. We're going to play a very quick matching game, and then I have to get to a Chinese Dojo student meetup. So go ahead and vote in the chat. This has been an awesome live stream. Go ahead and vote in the chat. What do we got? Wow, in today's live, we learned about the 4 Chinese tones and the importance of learning Mandarin Chinese through early pronunciation and tonal training. We did warm up with tones. We read a brand new or a fresh article out of the China Daily. We learned a lot of basic and advanced vocabulary words. This has been awesome. This has been awesome, and I highly recommend joining the Chinese Dojo. The best way to learn Mandarin Chinese is through mastering tones and pronunciation first. We got 7 votes. We have 67 people watching. Which one is 作家? 作家. We've got a picture of cookies. We have someone lying on a blanket. We have someone walking a tightrope over a canyon. We have a tennis ball on a line. We have looks like a scientist, and we have a person signing a book. All right, so which one is 作家? 作家. 4th tone, 1st tone. 作家. 作家. Which one is that? Cast your votes. Can we get 15 votes really quickly? If we get a bunch of people voting, we can do more of these. And I have to go in 5 minutes because I have to get to a student meetup at the Chinese Dojo. If you do join the Chinese Dojo, in the next 20 minutes, you can join the student meetup. I'd love to see you there. I really hope to see you in the dojo. Okay, can we get more people voting? We have 70 people watching, only 8 votes. Can we get to 15 votes? 7 more people. Let's tap those screens, get 7 more people to vote. 作家, which one is 作家? Is it A, C, D, or F? A, C, D, or F? 作家. Which one? Cast your votes. 作家. We have 9 votes. Let's get a few extra people voting. 作家, is that A? Is that A, C, D, or F? A, C, D, or F? 作家. We got 11 votes. I want to do more of these, so I'm just going to end the poll. You have 3 more seconds to vote. 3, 2, 1, and ending the poll. Okay, what do we got? What's the spread? 50% said F. And if you said F, you are correct. 作家 means author. 作家 means author. So you are correct. Fantastic. And thank you for everyone else who voted. Good job. We just need to get our ideas out there, right? Okay, so let's see here. Let's see here. Which one do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to do another one here. I'm typing it out. I have to type in Chinese and pinyin here. So this takes just a moment. Okay, now we're doing this one. Bingan, bingan. Which one is bingan? Is that A, B, C, or D? Cast your vote. Cast your vote. I only have 3 minutes left. And then I have to get to a Chinese Dojo student meetup. It's going to be awesome. Have students all over the world who are mastering tones and pronunciation in Chinese, and they are reporting pretty much the most common feedback is they wish they started with this program. And that warms my heart because I spent over 2 years building that platform, all right, that allows you to master Chinese tones and pronunciation within 3 or 6 months. You get to choose the program that works for you. You get feedback on every single assignment, actual feedback from me. Listen to your audio and give you feedback. No other program does that. Even colleges and schools, right? Teachers don't have the time to walk around the class and make sure everyone's tones are correct, which is why so many Westerners have pretty unfortunate Chinese tones. Or we have 12 votes. Bingan, bingan. Which one is it? Bingan. Okay, 3, 2, 1. If I want any time to do one more, I've got to just end that poll. Awesome. Okay. 59% said A. 59% said A. That is correct. Bingan is cookie, which is A. What's wrong with my what is wrong with my little pen there? Bingan is A. Absolutely correct. Bingan is cookie. Okay. We have time for one more quick poll. One more quick poll. Which one will I do? Okay, what can I type out? Let's see here. Okay, typing in pinyin as quickly as I can. We have B, C. What do we have left? Okay, everybody. You honestly have like 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes here. 1 minute or 2 minutes because I have to end this live and I have to get to a student meetup. If you join the Chinese Dojo in the next 15 minutes, you can also join the student meetup and meet other Chinese learners from around the world. It's a very, very cool opportunity to network with people, see how other people are studying, what kind of progress they're making. I really highly recommend that. And with the coupon code Mooncake, which expires in a few days, coupon code Mooncake. Well, first, I'm not going to tell you how much of a discount you get. You need to go to thechinesedojo.com and go ahead and vote in the poll below. Which one is Qingsong? Which one is Qingsong? Is that A? No, sorry. Is it B, C, D, or E? B, C, D, or E? Qingsong. Qingsong. So if you go to thechinesedojo.com and click Tones Master right here, I would go and choose either Accelerator or Standard, the 3-month or 6-month program. Type Mooncake, see how much of a discount you get for Golden Week. And you get the 550 plus minutes of video lessons, all the quizzes, and all of the review, right? All of the assessment, all of the feedback. Plus potentially a DM chain and a one-on-one call with me if you choose the Accelerator. All right, everybody. Qingsong, you have 10 more seconds to vote. Qingsong is B, C, D, or E. Qingsong. 轻松. I just love so many people. I love seeing so many people be passionate about learning Mandarin Chinese. It can just totally transform your life. Mandarin Chinese is a skill magnifier that opens up opportunity everywhere around the globe for you. Just everywhere around the globe. Okay, ending the poll. Ching Song, let's see, 79% said B. And that is correct. Ching Song means relaxed. Ching Song means relaxed. What's going on with my pen? So strange. I wonder if I need a new tip for this pen. Ching Song means relaxed. Well, everyone, congratulations, all right? This has been awesome. I just want to say good for you. Good for you on a Saturday morning. Well, maybe it's evening where you are. But look, you're taking time out of your day, no matter what day or time it is. You're taking time out of your day to better yourself. You're making a very wise choice by investing your time in Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese helped me achieve my dreams. I became a well-known actor in China. Right? I got to act in big budget movies and TV shows. I became famous in China. People recognize me in some places, right? Usually crowded places. You need maybe 500 people in an area for there to be like a person who recognizes me. But it's still cool, right? I got to be the lead antagonist, Mike Evans, in the original Chinese 3 Body Problem. I got to work with my dream director, Zhang Yimou. I got to work with my dream director. I got to broker international real estate deals. I landed influential jobs in media in the United States because I was the candidate who spoke Chinese. Mandarin Chinese set me apart in the application process. I did not grow up in a Chinese home. I did not marry a Chinese spouse. I learned Mandarin Chinese as an adult, okay? And I used methods backed by research. And I'm showing those articles and links. Feel free to screenshot, find these articles and books, read them yourself, so you know that this is legitimate science and research. You want to work on tones and pronunciation at the beginning. That's the best way to learn Mandarin Chinese. All right, conscientious work on Chinese phonetics will result in stronger command of the language, material, grammar, and other aspects of language competency. Beginning learners should commit sufficient time for perception training with efficient assessment afterwards, so on and so forth. If you join the Chinese Dojo with coupon code MOONCAKE, you're going to get all of that. You're going to learn perfect tones and pronunciation for Mandarin Chinese, lay that proper foundation, and you're going to get properly assessed. With every single assignment, I'm actually going to listen to your audio and give you feedback either within 24 to 36 hours in the accelerator, or I'm going to give you feedback within 72 hours if you do the standard program. Please join the Chinese Dojo if that sounds right to you. If learning Mandarin Chinese the right way sounds up your alley. Okay? And thank you so much for joining the live stream. Hope to see you in the next one. I have to go hop into a Chinese Dojo student meetup right now. So, 谢谢大家。祝你们国庆节快乐。Happy Golden Week. Happy National Day. Yes, 我们下次见。谢谢大家。谢谢你来。谢谢你来参与我的直播。Thank you for participating in the live stream. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.